Okay, so you're here ready to cut through all the noise,
Yeah.
and that is exactly what we're about to do. Welcome to your deep dive into the HR Technology and Digital Transformation Summit.
Mm-hmm.
Think of this as your essential intel, the cheat sheet, pulled directly from what thousands of HR pros were talking about when they gathered to map out the future in 2025.
Yeah, it was quite the gathering.
Our mission today is super focused.
Mm-hmm.
We're grabbing the signal, ditching the static, bypassing all those buzzwords to get to the trends and takeaways that actually matter for figuring out what's next in HR tech.
Right.
We're using the summit's own insight report, so this is the inside track.
Yeah.
And let's be real, the HR tech world, even the summit folks said it, it can feel like a lot.
Thrilling, yeah, but also kind of hyped up, maybe even overwhelming.
Oh, definitely overwhelming. They really nailed that feeling right at the start. And what struck me immediately was their point that even with all this crazy innovation, HR tech in 2025 is becoming personal, purposeful, and still evolving.
Okay, personal, purposeful. I like that. Yeah, it's not just about grabbing the newest, shiniest tech toy. The real shift, they argued, is towards having a really, really clear purpose and focusing like relentlessly on solving actual business problems.
Strategy first, tech second. Makes sense.
Exactly. The tech's moving incredibly fast, no doubt. But getting real results, that still comes down to knowing why you're doing it in the first place. It's like you can have the best tools, but you still need the blueprint, right? You need the problem you're solving.
Right, right. And speaking of solving problems, a huge theme, wasn't it, was this idea of personalization at scale.
Oh, massive.
Yeah.
Absolutely central.
This idea that tech can finally deliver those individual experiences for employees, catering to their specific needs, their preferences, even their skills development. It's kind of what people have wanted forever, isn't it? Feeling seen as a person, not just a number.
Totally. And the tech is actually making it doable now, not just some lofty goal. The summit pointed to things like skills-based development platforms.
Yeah, tell me more.
So they can pinpoint exactly where someone wants to grow and give them tailored resources. And AI listening tools, these go way beyond simple surveys, like really getting the nuances of how people are feeling.
Okay, so deeper insights.
Exactly. And the big takeaway here, the summit was super clear. This isn't a nice to have anymore. Personalization. It's basically the bedrock of employee experience now. If you're not doing it, you're going to feel pretty out of sync.
Yeah, you really feel that disconnect. I mean, think about us as consumers, right? We expect personalization everywhere else. Why wouldn't we want it at work?
Precisely. Those expectations are just spilling over.
So to actually do this personalization at scale, it sounds like companies are realizing they need to tidy up their tech house, basically. Move away from all those separate little tools.
That was a huge point. Moving away from scattered point solutions towards integrated platforms, it's about building a more cohesive HR tech ecosystem.
Okay, ecosystem. Like getting everything to talk to each other properly.
Yeah, exactly. Think about your core HR system, talent tools, learning platforms. The goal is making them work together, share data, not operate in silos.
Uh-huh.
And the benefits they highlighted were pretty compelling. Better usability for everyone, much cleaner data because you're not entering the same stuff everywhere, and that means, well, better decisions.
Makes sense.
A smooth, integrated system designed for the user, that boosts productivity and your analytics game significantly.
So less time fighting with tech, more time on people. I
Mm.
like it. Now, we got to talk AI. It was everywhere at the summit, right?
Yeah.
But maybe adoption isn't quite keeping pace with the hype.
That's exactly the vibe. Lots of talk, lots of potential, but the actual impactful implementation, still catching up. What was good, though, was the balanced view.
Not just hype, then.
No, there was definite excitement, but also a strong dose of pragmatism. The big caution was, don't just chase the shiny AI object without knowing the specific business problem you need it to solve.
Right. Got to have that.
Be curious, yes. Pilot things, definitely. But also really push vendors for clarity and actual value. They've framed AI as a tool to boost HR's impact, but only if you use it thoughtfully. It's not a magic wand.
And it's funny because a lot of these tools like HireVue, Eightfold, Paradox, they're not brand new, are they?
Not at all. What is new and what the summit really dug into is the speed, the pace at which companies are now experimenting and actually adopting them.
Okay, so the experimentation is accelerating.
Massively. Things like AI resume matching, screening candidates, automating basic HR workflows. That's becoming pretty standard now for a lot of places.
So the conversation shifted.
Yeah, it's less about, oh, look, AI tools exist, and more about, okay, which specific tool solves our problem and how do we roll it out responsibly? That means being okay with trying things, maybe messing up a bit, and learning as you go.
Gotcha. So use AI as an enabler, solve real problems, show real results. The tech's kind of there. It's the smart implementation that counts.
Yeah.
Look, building on that AI discussion, chatbots and generative AI,
Sure.
sounds like they're really shaking up basic HR services.
Oh, big time. This is where you see immediate impact. Just handling routine questions, providing instant support 24/7. That's a huge efficiency win.
Yeah, better for employees too, presumably.
Absolutely. And some companies are even creating personalized bots, that reflect the company culture and tone. Adds a neat touch.
Like a digital HR rep that knows the company vibe. Cool. And they can just scrape all the internal info.
Yeah, tap into knowledge bases, give real-time answers, make it way easier for employees to find stuff without digging through the internet or waiting for a person.
And the ROI is clear on that.
Very clear. According to the summit, HR teams get more efficient, fewer basic tickets, measurable return. Their point was pretty blunt. If your internet sucks, your chatbot better be amazing.
Ah, good point. Okay, shifting slightly. AI in learning and development. Sounds like the old one-size-fits-all training is finally dying.
Thank goodness, right? AI is pushing towards way more individual learning. It can spot specific skill gaps, identify potential, and then build custom learning paths.
Tailored just for you.
Exactly. They mentioned platforms like Degreed and LinkedIn Learning integrating AI to map these paths based on skills, performance, even your career goals.
That sounds much more engaging than mandatory compliance training number 57.
Right. The benefits are real. Better engagement because people feel invested in closing actual skill gaps. And yeah, people stick around longer if they see a path forward.
So personalized learning isn't just a perk anymore.
It's a competitive advantage. That was the summit's take. Now, taking AI even further,
Mhm.
they talked about AI agents. Sounds like the next level up from chatbots.
Agents. Okay, tell me more. What do they do?
So instead of just answering questions, these are like proactive digital teammates. They can actually complete tasks.
Like what kind of tasks?
Examples given were things like scheduling interviews across multiple calendars, sending out confirmations automatically, even updating HR systems with data. It's moving from info to action.
Wow. Okay, that feels like a bigger leap.
It is. And the summit was quick to add a note of caution. While the potential is huge, most HR teams are still just figuring out where these agents even fit. It's not plug and play.
Right, you can't just unleash them. Need strategy.
Absolutely. Strategic alignment is critical.
Yeah.
How does this agent fit the employee journey? And crucially, what are the governance rules? Ethics. You need clear guardrails before you deploy. It has to be integrated thoughtfully, not just because it's the new cool tech.
Strategy, not hype. Got it. So powerful, but needs careful handling. Which brings us neatly to ethics, governance, change management. Sounds like these were non-negotiable topics.
Completely non-negotiable. Universal agreement on this. Technology without governance is just asking for trouble, especially with AI.
Makes sense. The risks are pretty high otherwise.
Totally. They stress constantly auditing AI, checking for fairness, rooting out bias, being transparent about how it works.
That's not just HR's job, right?
No way. It needs cross-functional teamwork. Legal, IT, compliance, everyone needs to be involved in building and maintaining the right AI infrastructure. That point came up again and again.
And the people side. All this change, people must be feeling it.
Oh yeah, change fatigue is real. The summit really acknowledged that. So, clear communication, proper training, support, and empathetic leadership. Leaders need to guide people through this with understanding.
Definitely. So the takeaway is basically responsible tech use is just good business.
It's the only sustainable path forward, yeah. Now, pulling all these threads together, personalization, integration, AI in all its forms, it really points to HR's role changing pretty fundamentally, doesn't it?
It really does. Back to that feeling of it being thrilling, but also overwhelming.
Exactly. And the summit stressed, look, there's no single perfect tech stack. The focus has got to be on finding solutions that are genuinely fit for your purpose, your culture, your strategy.
Right. It's not one size fits all.
And things like integration, usability, that employee experience, they're not optional extras anymore. They're essentials.
Yeah, table stakes now. And it feels like the big shift is HR moving from support to actually leading the digital transformation.
That's the powerful idea they kept hammering home. HR has to lead, not just follow. That means building strong partnerships across the business, being willing to rethink old workflows, adopting agile mindsets, and crucially,
Upskilling HR pros themselves.
exactly, HR needs the skills to step up into this leadership role.
So HR leaders become tech stewards, prioritizing alignment over just novelty.
Precisely. AI is a partner, not a replacement. The best HR teams will co-design this journey with their people empathetically.
Right.
We have tons of data now, but the impact only comes when we know what to do with it. It's about purpose-built experiences for individuals powered by smart tech.
And HR is right in the middle of it all: people, process, tech.
You got it. No digital transformation without HR transformation. That
Ah.
was loud and clear.
Okay, so wrapping this up for you, the listener, the big message from the summit. The future of HR tech is all about using these powerful tools, especially AI, really thoughtfully and ethically. It's about creating personalized, efficient, but ultimately more human experiences.
Hmm.
But, and it's a big but, it demands a strategic approach, understanding your own needs, collaborating like crazy, and never losing sight of ethics and governance.
Well said. And maybe a final thought to chew on, these AI agents we talked about, as they get smarter and more integrated, how might that actually reshape HR teams themselves?
Ooh, interesting. Beyond just automating tasks.
Yeah, could they start augmenting like higher level decisions, strategic planning even?
Oh, yeah,
It's definitely something to watch.
absolutely. So as you reflect on all this, think about which of these trends feels most relevant to you right now.
Mm.
Your work, your team. It's moving fast, but there are huge opportunities if you approach it strategically.